Yo, what's up guys? My name is Holden and today I have a very special video for you guys. We're out here in the wilderness. I'm going to be showing you, this is going to be a beginner's guide to meditation and why a lot of people don't meditate correctly, and I'll be showing you ways how to correct your meditations, how to improve on your meditations, and how to get awesome results with your meditations. So a big reason why a lot of people don't do their meditations correctly is that they think that they're supposed to be actually trying to do something, and a lot of the times when you're trying to meditate, the whole point of it is to do nothing at all. So it's not that you guys have to actually be doing something or that you're trying to get somewhere that you're not already. Your natural resting state is a meditative state. That's why when you're sleeping, you're not thinking, you're not moving, you're not doing really anything, because meditation is sort of a form of sleep, but it's while you're conscious and awake. So a lot of the questions that I first had when I started to meditate was like, how is meditation going to actually help me, and how does stopping my brain activity actually help me? Shouldn't my brain be on constantly trying to help my survival or help me get somewhere else, right? But that's not the case at all, actually. The case is that your brain consumes a lot of oxygen and energy while it's processing and thinking and coming to conclusions and trying to logically and reasonably explain everything to itself. So it's not that your brain is actually working better when it's on 24/7, it's that it's actually consuming more energy that you could be using in different aspects of your life, could be using in different aspects of your body that you might not even know about. So this is going to be a very beginner guide to how to meditate. This isn't going to be like an advanced explanation or anything like that. If you guys want more advanced explanations, I will be coming out with more advanced videos on how to meditate. But this video will be basically a beginner's guide to how I meditate and how a lot of these practitioner yogis meditate. So how does one meditate and what the hell does it mean? So basically, meditation is this is all that meditation is. All that meditation is that you are turning off your brain functions for a certain amount of time. Now, it doesn't mean that you're turning off your entire brain. That would be death, basically. What it means is you're turning off the logical and intellectual part of your brain. Now, some people think that, oh, well, this would obviously just make you stupid. If you had no intellect, you'd be stupid, right? But if you think about it, you were born already knowing most functions in your body. You're born knowing how to eat. You're born knowing that your eyes see. So what I'm basically saying here is that your brain already knows how to completely function itself. You are then imagining that you, as an ego, as a mind, are operating that. So what this means is your brain already knows how and what to do to survive. You don't have to think about it, because if you were out in nature, if you were born out in nature your entire life, like you never saw another human being, you would still have an implicit understanding of reality. So there's a silent implicit understanding that everyone has about reality, and then they convert that implicit understanding to an explicit, reasonable explanation. A lot of people, when they think that thinking is the way that you understand reality. That's not true. You have an understanding of reality, and then you can explain it to yourself with your thoughts. So by looking at it this way, we can see that your thoughts are not you, and that your thoughts are really just explaining what you already understand to yourself. So it's not like you need to explain these thoughts, your implicit understandings, to anything, because there has to be another consciousness that you are communicating with if you are speaking to something in your head. So try to stick with me, guys. This is a little bit of a radical and hard thing to understand using your logical mind. It was set up that way basically so that it's harder to understand. Your mind doesn't like to be told that, or your ego doesn't like to be told that it's doing something wrong, and it doesn't like to be told that it's not real. It basically is constantly looking for proof to prove that to itself that it exists. Why do you think that the ego is constantly trying to gain more and more things from the outside? It's trying to prove that at like a core frequency that it exists, but it doesn't. It's a false identity. So if we take it this way, we look at nature. If a human being never invented language and you were never taught language, and you were just simply out in nature, you would have to come up with an understanding of everything around you, but you wouldn't use language to do that. You would have an understanding on the inside of what everything around you is. You wouldn't be constantly dissecting and cutting reality into a million pieces, because that's all that the intellect is capable of doing. The intellect only likes to splice and try to weave together a picture of reality. It can never fully grasp or understand that implicit understanding that you have. So what's an example of an implicit understanding? If you took something like a glass of water, you know you have to hold the glass of water like this. Well, why is that? Because you've learned it through doing it so many times that you basically already know that you have to put your hand around the glass of water. So it's not like you have to think about this cognitively and like intellectually plan out how you're going to grab the cup. Your hand just knows to do that. And another thing, looking into people's eyes and looking at people's faces, you can see even animals do this. They know that because my eyes are here, I'm gonna look at that thing's eyes because I know that it's the same as me. It's just a reflection. So not to go too off topic, but just to say that your mind has an understanding of reality, and then it explains reality to itself using the intellect and using the ego, and that's basically the filter. That's what we call the filter, because it always is filtering and trying to gain more information and gain more intelligence and gain more things, but it will never understand it the same way as you already understand it in silence, without the thinking, without the logic and reason. It's already just an understanding, a direct experience, and then it's converted into an explanation by yourself. This is how your brain works. That's what I've been explaining. This is how your ego and your intellect works. So this is very important for meditation, because once you start to understand what your brain's actually doing, you see that it's just a false thing that you've been identifying with, and instead you can switch that off and you start to be able to use your brain in a lot more effective and a lot more efficient way. So basically, meditation is just getting you back into your primal, and without, you don't need to be in like survival mode, but like just gets you out of the thinking and what we think to be the scientific and intellectual mind, which is it's really only a very small portion of your entire being and your entire brain even. So by using just the intellect, you're missing out on about 95% of reality. You're missing out on like anything that you could possibly do to affect reality. It won't come from the intellect, because that's like a very teeny part of your brain, and it's very minuscule electromagnetically wise compared to like your heart or the electromagnetic field around your body.